Let's bring in Mr. Jeff Pierce for some big tech talk. Jeff, Microsoft and CoPilot, what's the latest? What's going on?
Yeah, we're getting reports out of Reuters that Microsoft has been working on adding internal and also third-party AI models to power their Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is an effort to try to diversify from some of the current underlying technology from OpenAI and reportedly to reduce costs as well. And this is kind of the latest effort we've seen from Microsoft, which we know backed OpenAI to kind of lessen their dependence on that AI startup. If we look back at the history here, of course, Microsoft is committed to invest about $13 billion in OpenAI since 2019. We know they launched that chatbot in 2022. It's been very successful. Microsoft, has a stake of around 49% in the startup. They've benefited from all the success the company has seen. And of course, they've integrated, parts of ChatGPT into their own search engines, into, Word, PowerPoint. They launched the AI CoPilot, a couple of years ago. And although we haven't necessarily seen the return on investment for CoPilot, we're hearing estimates of about a 70% adoption rate from Fortune 500 companies for that product. I think the thing to focus on here is, while this seems like a bit of a change for the company, it's not exactly a new thing. They acquired GitHub back in 2018. They added models from Google, Anthropic as alternatives to OpenAI, GPT. And there have been people in the company that have been concerned that Microsoft's strategy is too reliant on that partnership with OpenAI. Microsoft spokesperson was quoted saying that OpenAI continues to be the company's partner on the frontier models, and they incorporate various models from OpenAI and Microsoft depending on the product or experience. And I think that's the big takeaway here. Microsoft is a big company. They got the ability to create their own product, to use products from other vendors. And certainly if there's a concern that they're too reliant on OpenAI, or there's a concern around cost or efficiency, they've got the ability to kind of utilize other tools. And I think that's what we're seeing here within the company.
All right. The potential for some competition, some overlap, I mean, it seems like it's there, but it also seems like they're cutting edge and new enough to, I guess, have a pretty big, the whole pie is supposed to grow, but I can still kind of see them wanting to wean a little bit off of OpenAI. We don't really know about the financial stipulations of some of these relationships that these big companies have with OpenAI. I know in some of instances it's viewed as being a collaboration and sort of a symbiotic relationship, but I imagine it won't last that way forever. There's, it's always preferred to be able to do things on your own than depend on somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And this partnership, I don't think, is going anywhere, right? We saw them extended in 2023 with that big investment. They're both allowed to independently commercialize the AI technologies that they develop. OpenAI, is still not making money. Some predictions say it would turn a profit. It won't turn a profit until around 2029. But Microsoft's bottom line growth should accelerate once they start to complete that funding, because that's the other part of this, is Microsoft has been putting a lot of money into AI. And, we've seen that in a lot of the expenses. The company recorded about $683 million in expenses in Q1. And the CFO expects that figure to expand about $1.5 billion in Q2. So the money has been flowing into these investments. The good news is for investors, once the funding is the funding rounds are done with this, then, we're likely just waiting for Microsoft to see that revenue stream come in from OpenAI. And they should benefit pretty well from that, assuming that AI continues to, drive the growth that we've seen in terms of expectations over the last couple of years.
All right. Microsoft off of the highs substantially compared to their peers, but not the worst chart ever. At least we did make higher highs this month, just still below the 468 from the summer. So by comparison to some of the other stuff that's like ripping higher, maybe a bit of a disappointment, but still not a bad year for Microsoft. Thanks, Jeff, for the update there. Appreciate that.